Oh, how do I do that speaker view thing? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Whoa, it's not what I meant to do. Amanda, how, like when you're talking, how do I make it so it's you? Do you remember? Sorry, I can't remember. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna get started right off the bat. And Janny's gonna be hopping on. She literally just messaged me and said she was just sending instructions and she'll hop right on. So here's the thing. No, I know, Deanna. It's not, I don't know. And I felt like somebody just showed me this. But anyways, it's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. As long as you can hear it, that's all that really matters. So the point of tonight's Zoom is honestly, you guys, because I think I've shared my story with so many of you guys so many different times, and just saying, like, you know what you guys see and what you know is I'm an ambassador diamond, right? And you're like, and you're in the midst of building all your way all the way up there, and you're thinking, how the freak does one do this? Because sometimes you feel like one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, 3 steps back. And I just want you guys to know, like, we're here to share just tonight, like, you know what, that's happened to us too, but it hasn't stopped any of us. And none of those setbacks defined us. And it's kind of weird, you guys, because I feel like after you understand that and you know that, and when things like that happen, instead of freaking out or getting fearful or like kind of going in your own little hole, like you no longer do that. Like your next response is to like literally like open it up with like your chest forward, like I'm taking this on, knowing like, okay, this is my test. This is where obviously I'm needing some growth. And what's going to happen afterwards is like, honestly, mind blowing. And so that's why we're here tonight. And Janny and Amanda are so amazing to just open up. And I feel like I share my story a lot. And you guys are probably sick of hearing mine. So I was like, okay, girls, I've just loved their mindset, getting to work alongside them, listen to them and watch them grow. And it's like, I just think so many people could benefit from hearing that, right? So the thing that we want you guys to know, like there is no perfect path to success. And so whatever success is for you, like I want you to know that. And so it's not any different outside of It Works, but here in It Works, it's the same exact way. And so, so many times you guys might see this and you might see this, but when you're actually behind the scenes, there's so much more to what's happening and what people have overcome and what's going on in their lives. And I always say, I'm like, just because that's not shared, I don't think it's necessarily people being fake. I mean, it's just a privacy thing. But the truth is I've done this business for 6 years and I'm like, when somebody comes up with an excuse or something like this, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, if you only knew this person's story, if you only knew their reason of why they're doing it would be somebody else's excuse, right? And so, and even just this past month, Amanda promoting to Presidential Diamond, which has been a big goal of hers for a long time. You guys, it's not like she just thought like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go, like I just 2 months ago decided I wanted Presidential Diamond. Like this has been a goal of hers for a long time. And she never lost focus. Like no matter what was happening, if people were quitting, if things didn't go right, or if somebody kind of fell off the grid, to the witness protection program, like she just adjusted her wheels and she kept going. And that's the thing. You know what, you guys, I didn't know it would take me as long as it did for the jump from double to triple diamond. But what's crazy is probably what I thought my mind would take the time for me to go triple to presidential would have been a lot longer than what my reality was. And, it might have been the same thing for Amanda. Like maybe Amanda's hardest jump was triple to presidential. Everyone's is so different, you guys, but it all comes within and your mindset and your decision to move forward and just embrace what's happened and like not let it define you. And so that's kind of why we're here tonight. And so these girls have literally done exactly that. And I've just been such a close witness to this that I feel like I'm just so proud and excited for them and all these things. And I just think they have such incredible words and advice to share with you and tips that they've been doing that has kept this business really fun despite things that maybe try to like pop up and totally ruin some of that, right? Or things that kind of throw you off track. So Amanda, just share, your story quickly to triple and, you know, what happened in your business when you kind of felt like, okay, this is where it was kind of hitting a bump, you know, and it wasn't going exactly how you wanted. And just even saying, like, there's people on here that that's happened to, you know, and I know when it happened to me, you guys, I was like, what the freak is this? Like, the first time it's happening to you, you're kind of like, I don't know what this is. Like, I didn't know this was part of this business, you know, and you don't understand that because most of us don't, you know, we don't have this dream to be a business owner. And even if you don't, you guys, unexpected things happen. Like, that's the truth. Life happens to people, that type of stuff. So just kind of start with there, and just like when you did hit that bump and what you kind of felt in that moment. And you guys, this is the thing I also want to say is that some people have a hard time like adjusting their sales and their mindset to move forward. Some stay in it a little bit longer than others. And I'm sure between me, Janny, and Amanda, it all looked a little bit different. But the one thing that I want to tell you guys is that if there's one thing that I see in common, none of us, even when that happened, none of us checked out. Like, we still knew this is where we wanted to be. Like, your other option is to quit, right? So your other option is to literally be like, this is it, and I walk away. And none of us wanted that. And so when you ask yourself that, I mean, that's a really powerful question to ask yourself. So when you ask yourself that, like when you say no, you know, like, oh God, like for me, it was like, I started this for $500 and I'm kind of mad right now that I'm making like 8 times that. Like, that's so stupid just because I, you know, had a setback from diamond and I went from double diamond to diamond. And I didn't go straight to triple diamond because that's what I was used to doing, right? Promoting and moving forward every single step of the way. So anyways, okay, that's what I wanted to preface before we even started this Zoom. So this is like a very positive thing. And that's what we're kind of here to share because I feel like that's what we all kind of took that little bump in our road and like made it into. So go ahead and start sharing, Amanda.
Okay. So hi guys. So I started this, I've been in this for 4 years now. And when I started this, I just try to take off. I just took off and tried to do as much as I could. I try to like follow, you know, top leaders, their footsteps. And so I promoted to double, I think in about 5 months, I think it was a little bit less than 5 months. Cause I started in the middle of October. So I promoted to double pretty fast. And still being new in this business and going to double. And I think there's a lot of you guys who did promote very fast. But for me, I'm not a green at all, you guys. So I thought, okay, I am going to, sorry, I didn't even jump back like before I got started. So hopefully that's okay. So I'm not a green at all. So I'm like, okay, show me how to make money. Show me what I need to do and I'll do it. And so that's exactly what happened. And so when I hit my double, you know, when you hit a promotion, you get boxed in. I had no idea that I had to maintain it for $25,000, $12,500 on each side. And so the next month when I'm like, holy crap, like how am I not maintaining my double? I was kind of freaked out. And so I ended up maintaining it for the like 3 or 4 months, but it was a struggle. Like it was something that was not hard at all. And then I had a girl just completely stop. And so I ended up losing my double. And I think it was more like just not knowing. If I would have known, I probably would have, you know, done things a little bit differently, but that's part of this business. We get into something, we don't really know what we're doing. This business, you learn as you go kind of thing. And so I was actually more stressed with trying to keep my double than I actually was when I'm just like, okay, I got to let it go and I got to build healthy. And so I did. And my husband at the time, he ended up becoming my diamond. And so very shortly, we ended up just organically building my double back. And it was a very strong, healthy double, like way more average, like because we built the way we were. And I am I get a lot of enrollments in. So all of my people were all my personally enrolled. And so when I organically got my double back, my paycheck was even higher than the average double would be. I remember going into conference and my enroller, which she doesn't do this anymore, but I was double and she was like, and we were kind of talking about pay and I'm like, yeah, my pay, I want to say it was like, as a double, it was like 9,000. It was like almost like 9,000. We were going to conference. She's like, what? Like, what? That's crazy. And I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just, and I think it was just because I had personally enrolled and my husband was my personally enrolled. And so anyways, we went into conference, and I was going out there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my husband to double. And I think just, obviously the momentum that conference brings and all that kind of stuff, my entire team just kind of took off, and I ended up going triple that month instead of just me being double and my husband double. So I ended up going triple that month, and I had a lot of good key players. I had a lot of people go to conference, a lot of amazing people. Some of my best friends in this business, were my diamonds, and it was just awesome. And it was great. My volume jumped like 30,000 BV. I think I remember like telling Sarah, I'm like, I can't believe my volume is like this much higher than it was like, even just a month ago. And so it was very stable. And that was in 2016 I went. So it was very stable, and, it was good. And then my thing is that I had built all of my diamonds. So not that they didn't do anything, but I am a very fast enroller. And so I was placing people like crazy. So some people weren't ready to be diamonds. Some people weren't not even maybe even wanting it. Not that they didn't want it, but it was maybe too fast for them. And so as soon as my mind thinking, okay, I just built you to diamond, so now you're diamond, go fly your wings and take off, and now you maintain it. When all reality, they didn't know how to maintain it. And so slowly I started having diamonds after their 3 months or 4 months, after all of the customers I placed underneath them, started going off. They weren't maintaining it. And so slowly I had some of my diamonds back off. But in the meantime, I had new diamonds sprout up. So it was great because not great that I lost diamonds, but I would have new people, come about. So, anyways, so I think that throughout that time, obviously last year was a crazy year, not only for me, but I know a lot of people in this company. And there were times where, I would see some of my best friends in this business just dropping off, and and it's like, why? Like, yes, like it might not be the best time right now, and your business might be not at its highest, but you're still making amazing money. Like, why jump ship and go somewhere else, or why just stop completely? And so I really had to, I feel like, dive even more into self-development, because I had these outside sources, kind of not that I ever wanted to quit or thinking about it, but I had these outside sources almost having a negative impact on me, because I'm like, whoa, like what's going on? Like, why is, 2017 crazy? Why are people losing their ranks? Why is this happening? Why is my business suffering? Like, why do I have diamonds dropping off? And I really had to take a look at, instead of looking at everything else, I had to take a look at myself and my business and what I'm doing. And so the only thing I could think of is that, okay, I worked full-time as a dental hygienist, and I know what it's like to leave my kids. And I'm still making more money than I ever would as a dental hygienist. So I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and just keep having faith that this is the business I'm supposed to be in. It has blessed us so much this far. Like, why stop now? Like, yes, my business may be not where I want it to be, or it may have dropped a lot. I have lost diamonds. I have lost other people. Some of my best friends quit. And so I thought I could either do that and go back to dental hygiene. There's no way I would do this and start another business from ground zero. And so those are my two options. I either stop doing what I'm doing and just feel defeated and just slack myself, or I just step it up and I continue doing what I'm doing. And so that's what I did. I really dived into self-development. I really dived into my team. I picked those people who really wanted this, and I just poured in to them daily. I poured life into them. I poured life into myself. And I just kept going. And slowly, every single month, my pay would increase. And so I think it was November of last year, I was like, okay, like I'm so ready to be done with this. Like, I'm ready for the next level, because I was seeing more people just dropping off, more people at the end of the month, still quitting, some of my team quitting. And I'm like, I'm done with it. Like, I'm ready to show like that this business does work, that we have something so powerful on our hands to make this work. And so The really cool thing was, you know, obviously last year they brought the Christmas cash, and so that fueled my team. It fueled me, and so December, I had the mindset. I'm like, okay, my team, this is going to be our busiest, craziest month. And it really was. I enrolled 98 customers, I think like 14 distributors. It was just a crazy month for us. And typically in December, you guys know it's busy for people. It's not really a high enrollment month for most people, but I wanted to show that this company does work, that this business does work. It's just a matter of what we put into it and our mindset. Last year too, you guys, last year I forgot about this. I started putting into a routine the miracle morning. And so I would wake up early. I started, you know, just more self-development, just more pouring into myself and getting my mindset right, because I knew like what was affecting me. And I knew that could not, I could not let things affect me anymore because it was affecting my business. And so, anyways, that's what we were doing. And I was getting my whole team into it. You know, November and December, we started like a team. So I guess my team unity changed a lot. And I think it was the end of October, starting November, we started working together daily. So even now, every single day, besides Saturday and Sunday, for 8 hours, you guys, we are in a group chat, and we take shift. My leaders and I take shift, and we are working with the team who's able to work at that time. And I think that has been one of the biggest impacts on my team. There's so much team unity. Like if you look at my team page right now, or our team page, because there's other people on here, it is the most active. Like it is so active. There's so many people like just filling other people up. And I think that has had such a huge impact with me even going presidential. So anyways, December, and then I was like, okay, if I just got 98 customers this month, I'm going to get 100 next month and 100 the next month. If I can do this, I know my team couldn't do this. And we started duplicating things to our team. So everything that I've been doing, it's been duplicated to my team. Like Jennifer Weatherly's on here. She got 85 customers last month. Valerie, she just had twins, you guys, less than a month ago. She got like 40 customers last month and not even really working her business like she typically does because she just had twins. So the things that I'm doing, that I started doing, I have shared that with my team, worked very close with them. Our mindset on our team completely changed. We watch The Secret every day, like bits and pieces of it. We do a lot of we pour a lot of self-development into this team, and our mindsets just completely changed. And then the systems that we have done just are very duplicatable. And so it's great because what we've been doing, we have new people come in, and not everyone is this way, but we'll have new people come in and they're getting their first 4 customers within their first 2 or 3 days when they're doing the steps that we are coaching them to do. And so I think, so anyways, we just kept going and going. And I think just the matter of having your mindset, like overcoming those things, because when this business does not become an option for you to stop, you just keep going. And no matter what, if you keep going, you're going to go up. There's no go, and obviously you're going to go in, fluctuations. Some months you might not get as many enrollments. Sometimes your volume might be down. Sometimes you might lose that rank that month. But if you keep going, like there's only up, but the thing I always thought in the back of my mind is I have no other option. I either work hard at this or I quit and I go back to hygiene. So I don't have an option. I might as well bust my butt and show that this is possible. And so last month, do you want me to keep going, Sarah, or do you want me to? I could keep talking, but.
No, it's okay. Let's let Janny just kind of tell hers. And I just, like, the one thing that I feel like, just because we have so many different conversations, because I think we pick each other's brains and we chit chat and that type of stuff. And that's another thing, you guys. Like, if you're on here tonight and you're like, I don't really talk to my sponsor, or I'm not picking her brain when I need to, or when I'm feeling something, like, is this normal? Like, did this happen to her? Like, more than likely, like, it probably did. Like, don't feel like you're alone. But if you choose to be alone, like, you're always going to feel like that. Like, you guys, in It Works, we're a team for a reason, because that's what works best. That's what breeds success. That's what breeds empowerment. Like, those types of things. You are not necessarily meant to feel all these things by yourself, right? And so the thing that I think I just love when I hear this is that you have to ask yourself, like I said, like, is this where you want to be? If so, then move. Then start taking action. Then do the things that scare you again, like you did to begin with, and what is Mark always says it, actually, and it was so good. I think he said it at Green Carpet in Dallas, but he's like, the only way to coast is down. And it is so freaking true, you guys. And I get it. Like, life happens, crap paralyzes you, fear creeps in. But I think the difference is how long you allow that to be the situation. Okay. And I know, like, Amanda, she's always just had this, she's so strong-willed, which is such an amazing thing. And so that's the thing. Like, I remember, you guys, I probably let it kind of get to me for 2 months, but did I check out? I didn't check out. But I almost felt like I questioned my leadership. Like, why did I just have a double diamond walk away from her business? Like, I was almost triple, and my biggest part of my business walked away, right? And so just like Amanda said, like, she had somebody that completely walked away. We don't know why. Like, and honestly, in the beginning, when that first starts happening, you take it so personally. But like, the crazy thing is the people that have quit, I've had so many people come back, you guys. And so now I know, like, I've been in long enough to know, like, it's not me, it's them. It's something that's stopping them. And I just either, as a leader, I need to either figure that out, or I have to let them figure it out to be where we were at one point, to say, like, Amanda doesn't want to go back to dental hygiene. Honestly, you guys, I love nursing, but I never want to work in a hospital again. I never want to work a holiday again. So if anything, it would be something completely different, but I'm not willing to give up my freedom with my children and with my family, because that's what I fought for. Like, why am I just going to walk away from that? So anyways, I just want you guys to hear that. So it all depends on how long you allow yourself to sit there. Okay. And that is a big difference between people's stories. Okay, Janny, so kind of just share your story, how you went to Triple, what kind of happened when you felt like your business kind of was hitting a bump in the road, and kind of same thing, like what made you just have that mindset to be like, this isn't the end of my story, like, this might have been theirs, but this is what I did to move on. And then we'll kind of talk to you guys about, like, things that they focused on and how they're guiding and building their leaders. And I know so many of you guys want to know about their hosted posts, and that's been really successful and duplicatable amongst their team. So just watch the time, because I don't want you guys, so we can get to that other stuff too.
Okay, so my journey to Triple was definitely not, my journey to Diamond was not fast. But it was steady. And honestly, the things that I did, I was the girl that I hit Ruby in 4 months, I think, and then got stuck there for a while. And you know what? I know it sounds weird, but I'm grateful that is where I was, because there's so many people that do get stuck at that rank, people on your team, and I can sympathize with them and I can help them through it, because I was there. In fact, I think the majority of people that get stuck at a rank, they get stuck at Ruby. And even if they lose rank and they go backwards a little bit, they feel like they get stuck there again. But like Sarah said in the beginning, I literally did, this is not an opportunity call, so it sounds cliche because we all say it, but that's because most of us did start for $500. I literally really did want to figure out a way to make an extra $500 that didn't come out of my salon income. And once I did that, my standards were higher, which is great. My standards changed. Now, almost 4 years later, like, my standards are way different. Like, if I get a $500 paycheck, I'd probably be like bawling in the fetal position, because that is not where my standards are at now. But that is literally where I was, I was stuck for so long. So for like 8 months, I think. And then I went to my first event, which is why, again, it's so important to get people to events, and maybe not just one, but like local events, like even stuff like this is an event, you know what I mean? Like, I remember certain Zooms from certain people that like shifted something for me in 1 hour, where it like relit that ember. And I was like, holy crap, that I just am so excited again, so this is an event too. But I went to Green Carpet. I met so many of my sidelines for the first time in person. It was just magical. Like, we wrote our, initials in the white sugary sand and took pictures. And I just felt like so excited about everything. And then 4 weeks later, I finally went Emerald. And then a couple weeks later, or no, a couple weeks after that I went emerald, and then a couple weeks after that I went diamond. So it was like emerald was a short stop for me. Because you guys, as you all know, like the jump from emerald to diamond is not very far. For me, the jump from ruby to emerald felt like a freaking mile. But once I got there, it was, it was crazy. It was crazy. My first time ever losing a rank was the month after I hit diamond. So I was like on this high, and then, I did, granted it was December. Okay. So Santa took it away from me for like 1 month, but looking at that, and again, that's something that I'm glad it happened, because I can now tell my team, like my paycheck dropped significantly for 1 month, but I did not stop. I trusted my leaders when they told me, you will get it back. I literally got that rank back in 3 weeks later in January. I just got an email notification, your new distributor placement. Woohoo!
I heard it
literally right now. Been talking to her for like ever, so I'm excited. But you guys, when that came back, and then, it was the biggest diamond check I'd ever had. And it was just that was my first probably hard lesson as far as like backsliding. It's like you're going up a hill, and like if you're driving a stick shift car, when you see the green light, like, you're in a stick, you might backslide a tiny little bit. But I love that quote that I think it was Mark that said, I wrote that down the other night. The only way to coast is down. You literally can't, I really don't think you can in any business, but especially in ours, you cannot put on the autopilot and just hope that your business is going to flourish, because it won't. You will coast, and if you get complacent, you find yourself backsliding pretty quickly. So I can honestly say I never coasted. I kept going, and you guys, as far as bonuses and stuff, and I'm getting ready to tell my my team, we're doing a Zoom for them going for diamond at 8:30, and I'm going to tell them the same thing. Like, the bonuses are amazing, but I missed that $10,000 bonus by 5 freaking weeks. 5 weeks. So you can't allow yourself to stay in a funk. You can be for like a day, and you need to get over it, because otherwise it's going to cost you your paycheck a bonus. So, and honestly, guys, it's like $10,000 bonus would be great. What about $10,000 a month? That's better, because that, it's just crazy. So, we hit double 6 months after diamond. And then 6 months after double, we hit triple. And working for that, like the sacrifices that it takes to get there, like saying no to anything that's fun, unless they found an excuse to make it like, oh, I think I'm going to meet new friends at the restaurant or at the bar or the party. But saying no to everything, sacrificing everything. And I'm not going to say it was like an easy year, because along the way, like, people quit. People are all in, and then all of a sudden they ghost you for like 3 months, and then they complain that they didn't make money, and it's like, I haven't heard from you since like July, and it's December, that kind of stuff. And it does get frustrating. I never wanted to be the person who lost a bonus, and it sucks. It sucks when someone's like, oh, I lost my, whatever, and you're like, oh, I lost a lot more than that. But my first, I guess, real backslide moment was when I lost Triple Diamond in December. And that, again, I remembered the voice telling me from 2 years before, like, you can be upset about it for a day, but then you better get your butt and back in gear, or you're going to miss a whole lot more than the rest of that triple bonus. You're going to miss your paycheck, And I know Amanda's story is a little different. My paycheck did go down significantly, and I'm the sole, I'm the breadwinner for my family, so it's stressful, but I can honestly say that I fought like a freaking warrior in the battlefield, and most of that time people didn't know what was going on, except for very, very close friends. Really, even they didn't, because I'm pretty private about it. But you guys, I freaking prayed, and I hustled, and I kept my mind right, and I didn't see it come back in January. I was thinking, oh, it'll be back in January, like the time I lost diamond. It wasn't back in January. It wasn't back in February. I freaking busted my ass last month and finally got it back. And it was a climb. Amanda was a huge inspiration for me, like seeing her freaking enroll these people. And you guys, the thing is, like, we need to show our teams there's nothing magical about it. It is hard work. All of you guys are at a rank where you understand how to talk to people. We all know how to talk to people. We don't need to watch a Zoom on how to have a conversation. Like, we all know how to do it. It's just a matter of getting your mind back to where you know you can do it. Like, literally, I had to have powwows with myself. Like, why can't I enroll a ton of customers? Why can't I, get out of my comfort zone? Like, the way I pushed to get to triple, if I'm not willing to do that again, granted, there was no bonus for me this time because it was not my first time hitting triple. But hitting it, like, ask Sarah, it felt like I hit it for the first time. Like, I went out to dinner. I celebrated it like it was a brand new rank, and I couldn't really celebrate it because I felt like, well, that's awkward to, everyone's like, why aren't you already a triple? But you guys, the feeling of fighting for something and getting it back is, to be honest, it was just as much fun as it was the first time. And now, like Sarah also said, I'm not the same leader that I was when I got to triple. I have stronger leadership now. I have a stronger team now. When I hit triple in almost a year and a half ago, I didn't have the team that was ready to be a presidential team. And I can honestly say, like, I'm almost there because I have people that I know are ready to go double, that I know have the leadership skills to have their own flourishing team. I know there's people on my team that very well could pass me up. And I, like I've said it from the beginning, I will never be the person who's jealous or spiteful of that. I will throw them a freaking party myself, because the day that happens, it's just magical. So, anyways, so that's something that, last month, I don't even know, I never ended up doing a final count. I think somewhere around 85 something customers that I enrolled. And I just decided, like, why this should just be why not? Host to Post has been freaking amazing. Keto coffee, I think that the sky's above for that because it's changed my business. I can already tell that energy is going to do the same thing because what I'm getting from customers, yes, I love it. My husband is taking it too, so we're going to need more. When's my next shipment? What was the 4-pack deal you told me about? Maybe I'll switch to that. Like, those kind of messages, you guys, it's exciting. It's exciting where we're headed. It's exciting to think about where I've been because, to be honest with you, you just cannot control a lot of things in this industry. You just can't. You have to stop, like, pretending like you're God of the business. You just can't. I couldn't control my first 4 distributors. My very first month, my first 4 distributors quitting on me. That was the first and only real time that I was like, shoot, this is a lot of work and, like, everyone quits, so maybe I should. But no, I'm too stubborn. That was my first little, like, real hurdle. And then little did I know there's going to be a lot more. And I'm sure, I have no idea what's in store, but I know that I can control myself. I can control my work ethic. I can control my 25 Post-it notes with all the stuff that I need to do and make sure that I don't go to bed till I do it because I have goals. I can control that. I cannot control what my team does. I can't control the people who say how bad they want it, but then they decide to go out of town 3 weekends in a row and go to the movies and dinner and, like, not be willing to you can't. You got to stop trying to control other people and hustle even over wherever you're at.
Oh, she's breaking up.
You know that you have the best common plan that there is. So do it. Just do what you did and do it better because you know more now. I know that if I had to start over, I know more now. I know how to close people. I know the business inside and out. I know the products. I know that they work. I have my success story. I know how to not post stupid, ugly things on Facebook. Like, I know all of that. So you are a better version of you, even if you feel like you're starting over or starting from halfway back or whatnot. So anyways, that's pretty much my story. And I'm so excited for, everything that's coming up.
So here's the thing, you guys, we're going to ask these other questions, and this part was probably the longer part of it, but The thing is like, I will never forget Amanda telling me about her triple. And she was like, you know what? This is more exciting for me because I have people that my diamonds know how to go double diamond. My double diamonds, they're right on my tail. Like they're going to go triple. And that's exactly what happened, you know? And so same thing, like Janny talking about, like, I wanted to go out and celebrate. You guys, I remember like Amanda could look at it and I know there were more bonuses announced. So and her husband, like their accounts literally promote all the time together. Like, and so she could have been upset. I can guarantee you that she looked at that and was like, I am still so freaking happy that our team did it this month. And I will never forget that, you guys. It took me, I don't even freaking know how long to go triple diamond. And it was because, you know, I had to rebuild this whole entire thing. And I want to tell you, I did start a brand new leg. Like I did not take the shortest route. I took the smarter route. Like I was like, this over here is exhausting me. I'm messaging and getting nothing back. I'm messaging and getting nothing back. Like they're not hungry for it right now. I want a leg that's hungry. And so you guys, I will never forget when we went triple diamond. And so we had so many promotions and it was all happening in October. And Amanda, you were probably part of those actually, like even diamond and stuff. And so I think back and literally the next month, you guys, they came back with good bonuses. And I'll never forget, my husband was like, do you sort of want to die that like literally if you would have went this month, you would have had this bonus? And I was like, I looked at him and I'm like, absolutely freaking not. Do you know how freaking hard I just worked for that? And you know what though? It was the same thing. The self-growth that had to happen and like the mindset and this, and you know, feeding myself, like I finally was like, okay, I needed this. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, I needed this. This wasn't just like off of a high and everybody joining at once type of thing. Like, this is a few of us that have made the decision that no matter how busy life gets, like, we're here. We're ready to do this. We're ready to learn the next thing, that type of thing. So, okay. So you guys, when you started doing that, things that you focused on, and how you have changed your approach in leading your team. So things that you're offering your team maybe regularly. Is it Zooms, posts, helping with wording? Are you doing parties, an opportunity thing? Like things that are scheduled that these guys can look at and be like, okay, I need to do that. Or maybe I haven't been doing that, so this would help my team. You know, things that they can get, like give them some tangible things that they can take away and sit and start doing that upward climb.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and like Sarah said, like, I will say when I went triple the first time to like when I went till like this year, like my diamonds and double diamonds were completely different people. And I will say that I have like, now I have like the team that I feel like will be like my team forever. Like they are literally just like they are leaders who do not want, like they can't give this up. And so that's what I love. Like, so some of the things that I feel like that have really changed our team unity, and we've always kind of done like weekly trainings and all that kind of stuff, but we do implement our weekly trainings every Tuesday. And I have different leaders take a part. So every first of the month I recognize, we also do a lot of recognition in our team page and stuff. So the first of the month we have whoever promoted, they are on blast. Like they are on our Zoom, they're talking, and it gives them confidence, just celebrates them, you know. But every Tuesday we will do a Zoom. Whether it's a power hour that we do together, towards the end of the month, we do a power hour on Tuesdays, not a training. Sometimes Sarah might do a Zoom, so all of our team just hops on that one. We just do something all together at least once a week. The other thing I feel like has been just the major impact on this team is that we have a group on a group messenger. And there's probably, I don't even know how many people are in there, but there has to be qualifications. There's certain qualifications to get in there. You can't just sign up and then all of a sudden jump into this group. It really is a group for somebody who wants to take their business to the next level. And so, so each person has to do certain things to get into this group, and we literally work. So like right now, it's going on right now. And I think Jennifer Weatherly's leading it right tonight. And she will say, okay, guys, round one, let's do this. This is the message I'm sending out. And so whoever can work at that time, it gets everyone kind of working together, and somebody will say, awesome, like I just sent this out and it's working really good for me. Or and the other thing is that the people in there, it reminds them to also work. You know, obviously we know that we need to work, but sometimes like the day gets away. And so when we have a message going off saying, okay, boom, like round 3, like here's what I'm sending out for 10 minutes, you know, it gets people's attention. And so I feel like that has just been a game changer for our entire team. We do push groups here and there, not a lot. Last month I did do a push group, which was crazy to do, but it made a huge impact. It made a huge difference, and I think really helped going presidential and everyone else promoting. We do weekly opportunity events, and again, I incorporate my other leaders to do this with me, so I'm not just doing it. And I think that that's been a huge difference for me, is that now I have leaders who are leading their team. Like Jennifer, you know, at the beginning of the month, I can say, okay, girlfriend, how's it looking? Like, how are your numbers? She already has them done. Like, she's sending them to me. And she's leading her team. It's not me leading it. Whereas before I was leading, I had to be a part of every single thing. And now my leaders are doing it. So sometimes I'm like, well, awesome. Like, you know, like, I'm like, well, what do I do? But obviously I'm building other things, but it's really refreshing to having your leaders do that. And so I think creating that layered leadership has just been so huge, and it's just been so refreshing. So layered leadership, Zooms with teams, and we'll do individual Zooms like at the beginning of the month. So you know, I might take Valerie's team and just have them do a Zoom. But to be honest with you, I'll like be like, hey girls, how's it going? Like, do you want to do a separate Zoom? And they're like, oh, we already did it. I'm like, okay, awesome. You know, like, that is what my leaders are just like freaking amazing. And so they pump me up. But I think what has really changed, and some of these other girls can comment in the chat, but I think it was that group messaging system that we started doing.
So, okay, here's a question that I know I get, because I also do group messages. So what do you feel like when you have somebody that kind of like peters out and then they're like not bringing a whole lot to it? Or you see them, like, I don't know if anybody's done this in there, but you know how some people will start group messages and then somebody leaves and everyone's like, what's that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that happen in your group?
Mm-mm.
No.
And I mean, sometimes like we'll actually remove people from our group.
Okay. And that's good. Like, and maybe you guys, so for some people who are doing group messages, because I know there is people having those standards and saying like, this is what you need to be doing and have to be in this group. And literally, you guys, like, when it's not there, like, stop extending that requirement for somebody or making an excuse. And it's not like somebody can't ask to be back in it, you know? And I think ultimately, like, that's the thing. People have to want it for themselves. And I think for so many of us, it's like we've hung on to some of those people that we really care about because it is super hard. But it's like Amanda had a sponsor that left, you know, like that stuff isn't easy, but you know, I always say the best thing we can do, you guys, is to stay put and work hard and be like, you're welcome back at any time. Like literally, I want to show you what you could do when you come back. And so I love that. And so since I just have you on here, and then I'll just ask Janny this other question. They want to know about your hosted posts. So just like kind of, I know you've shared some of your messaging about that. And so just like, how are you helping these new people? Are they all doing hosted posts? Are you guys giving posts, or are they just like posting just normal on their page? Or how do you feel like you're helping those new people be able to duplicate, you know, those higher numbers of enrollments, or even just helping those people get 4 a month? Like, we all know the steps to success. Like, yes, it's awesome to do this. And when you're climbing back up, you guys, I feel like you're hungry for more than 4 or for more than 3. And so it's not that you have to be there, and your climb can be at any pace that you want. But I think for some of you, we're more instant gratification people, and we're on here for a reason, and we want to see that quicker climb. So I'm just asking her, because I know a lot of you have asked, so how are you showing them, like, what host to post and how are they duplicating it?
So I don't introduce host to post to my new people right away. I actually just work with them really closely one-on-one, and some people might think it's hand-holding, and some people do kind of use me as a crutch for a while, but eventually they are the best enrollers after I've done it. And not everyone does this. I have had people enroll, even I had 3 people enroll like the last day of the month last month, and I think like one person is even like responding to me. So that happens, you know, and I think that that's just, it just happens. So, but I do, those people who are following what we do. So the very first thing I do is I keep it super simple, and I don't want to overwhelm them. I don't send them this huge long task of what I do. I put it into steps, and I pretty much just handheld them. I give them I tell them to write a list of 30 people. There's a couple other things I do before, but I have them, you know, to get their customers, I have them write a list of 30 people, not 100, because again, I feel like that's just overwhelming. And then I say, okay, send this message to each person and do not reply back to them. Send me a screenshot back. And I'm literally telling them exactly what to say back to them. And so we are working with their network, and a lot of times they're going to get their first 4 customers right away. If somebody does not have a network, we go through their A through Z list on their Facebook page, and we start interacting with them. And so, so I don't introduce host to post because I love host to post, but I also feel like I feel like people need to know how to get customers without doing that. Mm-hmm. And people need to know that, you know, host to post are amazing. And I will say that tons of my customers are from host to post. Not all of them are, and not all of my teams are either. It's from other ways of getting customers. And I think that you need to know all kinds of ways to get customers and not just a host to post. Now, when I have like somebody who they're getting, you know, no's, or I can't afford it or anything like that, then I will introduce them to getting a host to post. And again, I walk them through it. And so I walk them through this for a little bit, but then the thing is they start seeing my dialogue is exactly the same for every single thing. My dialogue does not stray. And so whether it's the keto coffee or the cleanse or the system or whatever, you know, obviously the description of each changes, but my dialogue of everything else does not change. And so then they incorporate that dialogue into their way of wording it. And it gets them right away to not throw up on everybody. It gets them right away to not be scared and not know what to say and just to back off. It's literally diving them into having conversations with people right away. And I've had people who, a lot of, you know, new people last month. I think I enrolled like 16 customers last month. There was a lot of people who went Ruby in their first month. A lot of people went Emerald in their first month. And it's not from host to post. It's just literally been talking to people and throwing them into like the fire almost and just saying, okay, message these people. And they're not cold messaging people. I do not do cold messaging at all or coach that. It is literally people that they have in their network. And so I don't know if that answered your question, but.
No, and I do think it is super helpful. And I think it goes back to that because you guys, when we think about when we started, like we were asking, how do we respond to this? Or because we didn't know, you know, so really opening the doors and almost setting that expectation and saying, I want you to not respond. I want you to show me. So that way they can get those things. And then I know you say this too, Amanda, but saying, not everyone is just going to say yes right away. Like I'm walking for people for these rubies, you guys. And I told them, one girl was like, I'm going to message 5 people. And I'm like, no, because you need 5 people. So you need to message 20. So let's figure out who those are, you know, because I told her, I said, not everyone's even going to respond. Some people respond and not say yes, like that type of thing. So, okay.
The other thing, sorry, I want to add one more thing. The other thing I do is that because they're screenshotting me these back, when somebody comes to me and they're like, man, Amanda, I can't get anything, or man, I'm just discouraged, and they signed up 3 days ago, I can go back to them and say, okay, you have sent me 3 screenshots. So you've talked to 3 people, you know, I can go back to them and say, okay, we got to talk to more people. This is not a time to get discouraged. We just got to talk to more people. And so it allows me to really know who's working and who's not working. And it might be hand-holding for some, but we're showing results, and then they end up taking off after that. So it works for me, but some people might not like to handheld their distributors, you know, that much.
No, I think it's good. I think people are just honestly really wanting specific examples, and it's been working for you. So even if they've been doing something that's not working, they would rather try incorporate something new, you know? So that's awesome. And okay, so Janny, same thing for you. What kind of is your different approach in leading that seems to be a lot more helpful so that you have people working along with you, so you don't feel like, okay, while you do this climb to presidential, that you're working alone. But instead you have people that know exactly what to kind of do alongside you. And when they go diamond, they know what it takes to go double diamond.
So one thing that I've been doing, and I started actually just last month, was I completely got rid of pretty much all of my team chats and created a new one based on people who really said they wanted to do it. Actually, it was the month before last. And then at the end of the month, I could see over half the people in there that still weren't really responding or weren't active and whatnot. So I did a new one. So I basically started, and this month did a new one too. So I basically started a new one every single month. So we're not dragging people along. So to your question earlier, like no one leaves it because we just all leave it. We all leave it and go into a new one. So last month, I have never been so fired up by a chat. It wasn't annoying for anybody. It was like, oh my gosh, I just got 2 more. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Good job. Like everybody was feeding off of everybody's energy. And I didn't spend much time in my team page because everybody who was really hustling and working and pushing each other was in that chat. So, and I let them know too. I'm like, you guys, I don't over like close to 2,000 people or something on my team now, but really it's like the 37 of you or whatever it is, what is in there. You know what I mean? So I had leaders last month that for the first time ever went from signing maybe 2 or 3 a month. Several of them signed over 20. One of them signed 33 and she's 2 months in, you know what I mean? So we were just really keeping each other like inspired and pumped up and having them see that, I don't know, like I just stopped waiting around, you know, not that I really ever twiddled my thumbs or something, but I really just got into the mindset knowing that I have no choice. I'm getting my rank back, like no matter what. I just wasn't waiting for anybody. Like I'm just not going to wait for anybody. And I think that the, you know, leaders on my team could see that too. Like, not that they knew I was going to try to get my rank back, but just seeing how hard I was working. And there's nobody on my team that would say, oh yeah, she definitely gives us all kinds of advice, but we're not really sure if she follows it. Like they know that I'm up late. They know that I'm up early. They know that I'm working on Saturdays and Sundays. Like, so I really do try to show them what I'm doing, and that if they want it, it can. There's no reason why it can't be theirs too. You know, the speed of the leaders, the speed of the pack. I started to feel for a long time like, well, I'm not a very fast leader. Like what kind of leader am I when I'm like, my enrollments feel like they're dwindling, whatever. So I really do think that part of it was mindset shift. Actually, a big part of it was mindset shift. And then just combining that with working my tail off like I did to get to where I wanted to be in the first place. For self-development, I have to say, it's not just like something you do when you get to where you are completely empty, broken feeling, depressed. That is not, you do not wait for that moment. Like you literally have to do something every day. I had to do it today. You know, like you start to feel a little just worn out. It's like you cannot drive your car for 3 weeks and not fill it up with gas. You have to plan ahead for it. So I don't let myself get into a place of feeling just sucked, completely dry. You have nothing to give your leaders, your team, your new distributors. You have no passion to instill in anybody if you don't have any of your own, you know. And I have people that say, oh, I do self-development, but like, do you do it? Are you going through the motions of doing it? Are you really listening to it? Are you like I started journaling, I started writing it down. I've got goals on this door, you know, right here, that maybe the timeline has changed, but not the goal. It says I am presidential diamond, and it's been crossed out and changed like 62 times. You know, it's just, I am too damn stubborn, and I let everybody know it, I guess. But host to post last month really did help. Just if anything, like it gave a lot of people the confidence that they did not have. And they're just like, you know, teaching other people how to do it. I'm like, shoot, girl, you need to post on the page and do a little mini 5-minute video and show everybody what you just did to get those loyals, like not just 25, 30 BV loyal after loyal, like we've got people enrolling like today and yesterday, people getting like 195 BV customers. You know, you can fill a box in 2 hours getting these kind of customers. So I think it just simplifying it, keeping it exciting but simple, and that's helped my shift so much. And then showing people what's helping my shift, and knowing, again, we cannot control everything. We can control our work ethic. We can control our sacrifices. I can get frustrated that one of my diamonds who said how bad she wants to go double is just not giving up half the stuff I did to go double. I can tell her that, but I can't do it for her. You know what I mean? All I know is that I'm willing to put in the work that I'm telling them they should be putting in, and I'm putting it in myself, and hopefully even more, you know. And then the ones who are really in it they're just following along, and it's really, really exciting to see. And Sarah, when you said people that maybe it's not for them, or maybe it's not the right timing for them, I just had a girl come back, and you guys, the first time she joined, I looked up her old account. I placed 2 loyals to get her fast started. She never signed a person. She never got on Zoom. She never did anything. She messaged, and I unfriended her because, you know, got to clean out a friends list. I unfriended her. She messaged me last week and literally said, she had a life change. She's pregnant. She can't afford daycare for a second kid. She's like, I'm sorry, I totally ignored you for a long time, but I really do want to give this a shot. She joined. She just messaged me before this Zoom telling me she has 6 people doing a host-to-post for her right now. She's already signed up, I think 3 or 4 of her own customers, and I did hold her hand the first few days. Every single, I was like, I'll be, like Amanda was saying, I was like, I will be the little voice in your ear. No one will know that I'm telling you what to say. But until you get at least a couple under your belt, then we'll take off your training wheels, and then you'll be good to go. And now she was on our team Zoom thingy today. She's like plugged in. She's messaging me all the time. So that's given me fire too, because you never know who might come back, and I'm not waiting around for them, but it's just a magical thing that it does happen. If I wasn't still here in this business, guess what? She would have joined with someone else, but I'm still here because I'm a constant, unstoppable force that will not quit. So, and it's just exciting.
It is. And the thing is, you guys, is I just want you to, a few things that I really want you to hear and things that they're sharing, but it's like we said, there is no perfect path. Even if somebody goes straight to ambassador, that's amazing, but I can promise you, even as they sit at ambassador for however many years, they're going to have people quit. They're going to have a presidential leave. They're going to have these things, right? That's just a part of it. And so the faster we learn how to deal with those things and who we can talk to and who we can relate to and know, hey, I'm not supposed to do this by myself, I think the faster you snap out of it. I also think those moments where you have to ask yourself, do I really want this? And how bad do I want it? That makes you just dig your feet even deeper. And then with these girls even, and even for myself, this past year, it's I finally was you know what? And I think Sherry was saying something over here, so maybe this will kind of address it. But if you don't feel like you have people working with you, focus on yourself. Let that be the fun part. You know what you can control. And it's you. Literally nothing else can be controlled. And what the thing is when you have this new shift and you have this mindset and you start filling yourself up and surrounding yourself with the right people and listening to the right things, the thing is these new people that are coming into your business, that's the only person they know. So this new girl that Janny just signed, she only knows the Janny that's going for Presidential Diamond that just signed 85 loyal customers last month. When Amanda signs somebody, they only know the Amanda that just did this. Let go of the past. The past is the past. It doesn't define you. If there's things that you change, guess what? You have every option today to say, I'm changing that. I'm not doing that this time. I'm doing it this way. And the truth is when you look at it, you guys, you started with 0 BV. Today, you're starting with probably, I don't even know, 2,000, 2,500 and higher BV. And that's what you get to build on. And that is why your double diamond, your diamond, your triple diamond, whatever it is you're going for is going to be 10 times stronger than it was the first time. Do not be upset about that. That's all I can tell you. And I know that, like you said, you guys have heard my stories, but I wanted you to hear from these two because I've just gotten to see it. I hear from them. I feel like all the time. They're not afraid to ask for help or to say like, oh my God, I'm drowning today. Like, you know, life is happening. And that's so important. I feel like it's almost a pride thing that you just have, like, you're not, what's the word? Like, it's not like you're this superhero, like, you know, that's not going to happen to you. I don't know. I can't think of the word that I'm saying. You're not like immune to these things, right? Like, no matter how strong somebody's business is, like, these are things, you guys, and stuff that they've talked about tonight and things that I've talked about. This happens to some of the people in the top 10, right? But it's just that maybe we're not as close to them, so we haven't heard any of that. So tonight, we just wanted to be really real and raw and hope that you guys, instead of feeling like you're stuck, that you see a light and you can see that you get to shine it as bright as you want. And honestly, just move forward and be like, this is it. Because the truth is the opportunity hasn't changed. I feel like it's honestly only gotten better. And even with, I've had people leave too. Guess what? All they found out was it wasn't better. Like, and you know what, you guys, a little piece of my tiny little heart just really smiles deeply. Because I'm like, okay, I stayed here for a reason, you know? And I do it for so many other people. And that's going to be the thing, you guys. Like, this next time something happens to you, it's going to be amazing how you literally don't even waver at all. Like, you're like, done that, whatever, bring it on, you know? And I'm sure these girls can say the same thing. So thank you guys so much tonight for helping with this and just hopping on here. I know it was super helpful to a lot of people. And I know that everybody else has Zooms to hop onto. So unless there's like literally one split question that you guys want to ask, you can shout it out really quick. But if not, we will hop off and I will post the recording for everybody. Are we good? Yes?
Sarah.
Love you guys. Okay, let's go rock June. Bye, you guys.
Bye.